What is up, Bitcoiners? We are here at the Bitcoin mining booth in Nashville, Tennessee at the Bitcoin conference. We are here. What is your name, sir?
David Chernis, CPower.
David Chernis of CPower. Tell us a little bit about CPower.
Sure. So we've been around for a long time. One of the largest, if not the largest, demand response providers in the U.S. We operate in all the deregulated markets, and we've been serving the mining sector, for me, going back to 2018 when ASIC started showing up in Niagara Falls.
Tell us, what is demand response? Why is it so important?
If you're a miner now and you're not doing demand response and you're in a deregulated energy market, you are not being competitive, especially after the halving. We have miners that are taking 20% off of their energy costs through the cash inflows they're earning from the local ISOs and the utilities. We have miners that are making 15 to 40% of their revenue through demand response. So especially after the halving, you need to know what this is. Basically what this is the grid operator and your local utility want to pay you for your ability to go into sleep mode with your ASICs if the grid is on the verge of a blackout. That might only be 4 or 5 times a year. So the rest of the year, the rest of the months of the year, you're just getting paid to be on standby, passive revenue. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, $70,000 per megawatt per year, $100,000 per megawatt per year. Just using AI now, we're able to, in PJM specifically, we're able to set an hourly strike price so that any time in the day ahead or real-time market, it is more profitable for you to push your energy back on the grid and go into sleep mode for an hour. You're going to earn more money going into sleep mode than you would by mining, and you set your strike price. You tell us what that marginal cost and that strike price is.
Companies like yours are really specifically helping with demand response, and the implications of this for bolstering an energy grid go far and wide. Could you touch a little bit on those?
Sure. So we are the first line of defense, keeping the grid up, keeping the lights on, making sure the grid does not go down. After us, after all of our customers have curtailed, if there's still danger of blackout, after that we start having the peaking plants fire up. They're basically giant jet engines fed by gas, natural gas on one side, just blasting millions of dollars basically out the other side. The utility and the grid operator doesn't want to have to get to that point because they're paying insane energy prices once a peaking plant is activated. They make all of their money in the short amounts of time they run each year, so you're paying for that power based on that frequency.
So does CPower allow this to happen manually, or is it an automated process that you can do any time of year? You don't have to go to the mine that's 50 miles away in order to shut down.
Great question. I love this question. So we're closely partnered with all major automation providers. For OBM Foreman since the beginning, very close partner of ours. We're integrated with Hivon, Crater, Brains, Load, and we just had our first direct-to-firmware, direct-to-ASIC integration with Auradine. They're a company out of California.
So specifically working on the firmware on the board itself?
Straight to the firmware, demand response dispatch signals. So you can think of us as an auctioneer, a broker, a portfolio manager, an advisor. You tell us about your operation, we'll create a portfolio, a revenue stack for you, and there's 4 or 5 or 6 different programs we can stack together and do simultaneously. We then auction your megawatts into these markets, and in my case, I'm in the New York ISO. There's monthly auctions for this capacity, this virtual capacity to be on standby. Now that's one flavor. Another flavor is in the ancillary markets and all this is automated now, completely automated, so the mine can be off-site. This is going to happen automatically upon dispatch. Ancillary services is the next layer. That's a very short response time, under a minute, following a load curve both down and up from the ISO. At this level of automation, you're basically a virtual power plant. This is how a power plant operates. It takes signals directly from the grid operator. On the next level that we're talking about now, with OBM's announcement that they can curtail a GPU because AI load's starting to show up in mining facilities. That's an energy shell. Miners already own this amazing space. It's a race to find rack space. So GPUs can be curtailed up or down inside of a second. They're now doing frequency regulation, regulation capacity. These are programs that don't require you to go into sleep mode. You can still train the LLM. You can still, that training's still happening. You're just tuning to the grid incrementally, maybe in a 15% bracket of what the max compute rate is, like auto-tuning, and that's a massive 10 or 20x revenue stream for very little activation time over that, and that's how we envision hybrid computing to work. The AI side, we know that can go to sleep mode very quickly with all these other revenues, and even the GPU side can curtail without stopping the training. And the other maybe higher value there on the GPU AI side is that if you're participating in grid reliability services, that's what we provide, right? You're going to be bumped in line theoretically for your interconnection agreement, because you're going in saying, I'm raising my hand, I want to participate in grid reliability services. Even the AI side, we're going to do fast acting stuff because we can. That's going to help you in your interconnection, which is going to be a challenge because we're running out of capacity.
Well, you know, I had no idea that we could do demand response on AI, so that's definitely news to me, and I think it's incredible because we're going to see in the future a lot more Bitcoin data centers and AI data centers coming together, and being able to load shed on both sides, it's going to profit for these people quite a bit. Can you tell us a little bit about why CPower is better than the competition?
Better. I mean, I think that we have our makeup is we're very strong on the regulatory side. Our regulatory director is former PSC chair for the state of Maryland. We are very protective of our customers from regulatory standpoint. We make sure they're safe. We're very heavy on the engineering side. Our DNA is regulatory, engineering, and then right down the middle you can think of us as a trusted portfolio manager, broker to make sure you're making as much as you possibly can. And we're a creative shop. We're looking at things. We're coming up with new ways to curtail and to bid load in that maybe some other people haven't yet.
So you're thinking of innovative strategies that save people money, but not only save people money, but actually make them money on the outside.
It's all revenue. We're in the business of sending miners checks.